Friendships are supposed to add to your life, not drain it. But many people try to cling to relationships or friendships that are toxic. Friends that, take more than they give, essentially. Friends who, tear you down or just don't want the best for you. If that sounds familiar to your situation, this is your reminder. It's okay to cut out toxic friends. In fact, a lot of the time, it's more healthy to do so. The toxic friend isn't always obvious, though. It's not always, yelling or dramatic fights or insults. Sometimes it's more subtle and it's harder to spot. And that's what makes it so hard for a lot of people to cut out these relationships, because they try to reason with themselves and say that this person isn't crazy because they're not yelling at me. This person isn't crazy because they're not, straight up insulting me. But that's where it gets dangerous, because a lot of people try to wave off things and eventually start hurting themselves. Quit licking your paw, man. Puppy. Hey, puppy. Examples of subtle, toxic friends would be one that only hits you up when they need something. Someone that gets super jealous whenever something really good happens to you. Or, if you hear they're talking about you behind your back and not to your face, they're talking crap about you behind your back. Toxicity shows up in so many different forms, but its effect is essentially the same in all the different aspects. You feel smaller, you feel less confident and more stressed out after, being with them. Friendship should never feel that way. If toxic friends are so bad for us, then why a lot of the time do we stay with them? Why do we keep them around? A lot of the times it's fear. It's the fear of being alone, but you just have to think, being alone compared to being with this person is not good. Plus, you're never really alone if you put yourself out there. If you are friendly enough to be with this toxic person, there's 7 billion, I think 8 billion people on this earth. Someone's going to want to talk to you. It may not even have to be in person. It could also just be, the fear of conflict with the person. If you try to cut them out of your life, what will they do? What will they say about you? Will they freak out? Will they, just not care? It really is a freaky thing whenever that's what you're worried about. Or it could just be the fear of conflict. Or it could just be the fear of letting go of a certain history you had with this person. If you've been friends with them since kindergarten, it's really difficult to cut that person out of your life because you think back on all the time you spent with this person. But history doesn't justify toxicity. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they deserve to still be in your life. You can appreciate the role that they played at some point in your life, but recognize that them being in your future would not be very, beneficial. Think about it like this. The closest people in your friend group, in your circle, are going to be the ones who determine your mindset on things, your habits, your energy. If your circle is full of negativity, all it's going to do is bring you down, through jealousy and drama that's been stirred up in this weird situation that you're in. The environment you're in will just pull you down from who you could be. But when your circle is filled with uplifting people who are happy for you whenever you are doing great things in life, whenever they're motivated and focused on your best interests and you are focused on their best interests in the same way, that's where you grow. Cutting out toxic friends isn't just about getting rid of negativity. It's also about making room for the right kind of people in your life. Knowing when to distance yourself is also kind of hard. Whenever you feel worse about yourself after hanging out with them, or your successes are met with lots of silence or envy instead of support, they constantly bring drama or disappear when you need help, or you feel used, drained, or manipulated by this person, those aren't just a rough patch in a relationship. They are means to cut it out. And if you just ignore it, the more it damages your well-being. Cutting out toxic friends also doesn't mean it has to be a whole dramatic breakup with this person. You don't have to be like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Sometimes it's as simple as just creating distance with that person. Stop making yourself so available and limit how much you share with that person. Invest your time in healthier relationships in the same way you'd invest your money in a healthy company. In other situations where you're stuck in, a bad friendship, it may require direct communication instead of just creating distance, because sometimes that's like harder to do. It's easier said than done. Letting them know that their behavior just isn't acceptable is sometimes the right way to go. Saying that you need space isn't wrong, but it depends person to person how you think that person would react. But essentially, if they're being toxic, you need to do something. Protecting your peace as a person isn't cruel. It's necessary. Life is too short to surround yourself with people who pull you down. Friendships should bring encouragement, joy in your life, and growth as a person, not guilt, not drama, and not stress. So take an honest look at your circle of friends. If someone is constantly toxic, just ask yourself, should this person be in my life anymore? Give yourself permission to step back from that friendship. Cut out your toxic friends, not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough. You love yourself enough to protect your own peace. The right friends will not drain you. The right friends will build with you. That's it for today's video. I post Saturdays and Sundays. Please subscribe if you like videos like this, and please drop a like because it means more than you know. It helps push this out to the YouTube algorithm, which has been shadow banning me. I've been getting like 10 impressions on my videos. Like, I am not growing at all right now. I believe that it will get better though. I'm trying to build a community full of supportive people in the comment section. So maybe think about dropping a comment, maybe. And I'll stop my yapping because I know probably not 99% of you guys have clicked off the video by now. But I just want to say I love you guys. I really hope the best for everyone. And through the difficulties that you're facing, enough to click on this video, I know you will get stronger. All right. Have a great day. Some of my videos will probably be popping up around here at some point. So watch one of them if you want to. If not, that's okay too. All right. Bye, guys.